Hey guys, I'm Pokemon1086 and welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video, I am finally bringing you guys the long-awaited, anticipated video game review. Now this one I've been promising for like the past several months, and I've never released it for God knows why. I think I've just been so caught up in the process of moving and at the same time just not in that spark to make videos. But now that I'm back, I'm trying to make videos for you guys at least once a week, every other week. We are finally here with the long-awaited review of Killer is Dead. So normally I'd show you like a physical copy of some sort, but unfortunately I only have that game as a digital download on my Xbox One. Now I did used to own Killer is Dead on the Xbox 360, and let me tell you, that game was so much fun. I've always been a fan of Suda51's games, from Lollipop Chainsaw to Shadows of a Dam to No More Heroes, and now I'm finally talking about Killer is Dead. Now randomly I stumbled across this game years ago, just randomly when I was out with my friends hanging out in high school, and I've been in love with the game ever since. When I originally had it on my 360, I never got the chance to beat it. So during quarantine, and then, you know, of course everybody knew about my health issue when I couldn't really go anywhere, all I had to do was just sit in the house 24/7. I basically just started playing a lot of games, and that was one game that I was really dedicated on trying to beat. I actually did manage to beat it finally. Suda51, he has a good conception and a good imagination, let alone an excellent way of telling a story and making the players really engaged in the game. Now obviously a lot of people will praise Shadow of the Dam. I've only seen gameplay of it, and then I've maybe played it once. That's definitely a game I really want to play. No More Heroes is a slap. 3 just came out. Unfortunately, I don't have it like I wanted to because, you know, bills, gotta save money and all that crap. So hopefully I can get my hands on it real soon. But I did buy No More Heroes 1 and 2 on the Switch when they, you know, did the whole Nintendo Direct and they released it that day. I went ahead and I picked them both up, and No More Heroes 1 was really good. No More Heroes 2 was really good. But again, we're talking about Killer is Dead. You got a lot of good characters in there. Mondo probably stood out to me the most. And I mean, he is the main character, don't get me wrong, but it was just something about Mondo's demeanor and his aggressive, I don't care attitude. I don't know, there's something about him that really kept me engaged, along with some of the villains. Like some of the bosses you have to fight were pretty interesting too. Like, dude, you have to fight a freaking train at one point. I'm like, I've never been in a game where I have to fight like some evil train, evil possessed train that used to be good or whatever. I'm like, damn, it's like they made Thomas the Tank Engine just like an evil person. Killer is Dead was released on August 1st, 2013, and it was developed by Grasshopper Manufacturer and publishers for Kitawaka Games in Japan and Xseed Games in North America. It was released on the platforms PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows PC. By the end of 2013, the game has sold over 23,000 units. I'm sure by now, due to its popular success from Suda51, the game has sold extremely more than that. Planning for Killer is Dead began in late 2009, and proper development started in early 2011. Suda was inspired to title the project Killer is Dead after the Smiths song The Queen is Dead. Initially, the title was only a placeholder. However, over time, Suda began to feel that the name matched up with the style he was going for. The game was announced in April 2012. The debut trailer premiered in January 2013. Suda described it as a dark side 007 game, drawing inspiration from Ian Fleming's James Bond books and films. This maintains the sense of his past Assassin series games like Killer 7 and No More Heroes, which I probably should have mentioned. Killer 7 is another good game, but I've been trying to get for the GameCube collection. Suda likes to prefer this game, Yen, to the Cherry and Brightful Lollipop Chainsaw Yang. Gameplay features sword-like in No More Heroes, but with expanded systems, guns, and wrestling actions. The visual style is an enhanced and evolution of the cel-shaded style of No More Heroes. The team had originally experienced with a realistic graphic style and a cartoon style resemblance of Killer 7 before settling on the final design. The story follows government assassin Mondo Zappa as he executes enemies from paid clients. When his clients and targets start becoming childhood memories, Mondo grows determined to find answers. Enough of me just splatting on and on about the game. Let me get into the pros and the cons. So first off on the pros list, I have the story. I really do like the story of Mondo trying to recover from the past, and each time he got closer to like memorizing something from his past, he kept like, I think the inner demon in him was holding back and kept trying to come out. You know, he kept like messing with his eye and he was like, "Ugh." I'm so sorry, y'all had to see that. That was very cringy. Each mission he was on, it was recovering little by little with his past. And I really liked that. I don't know what it was about it. It was something about that story altogether I really liked. And then you have, of course, a couple of the other characters. I'll name them off at some point in the video, or off the top of my head, I can't remember. Dude who always smoked a cigar, who was his boss. That guy was pretty entertaining. And there is that blonde chick who he was good friends with. I honestly thought they were, you know, going knock them ankles loose, but he didn't. And then there was that other girl who was like, Mondo. Every time you died, you had to press the X button super hard and she'd just be pounding on you, trying to revive you. There was that girl, and I was just kind of like, she's really annoying. Playing the game, you would think there would be like at least one decent or happy ending, but there isn't. I don't want to spoil it, but you know, again, I'm sure I'll probably put some spoiler alert warning in the beginning of the video. But the plot twist at the end of the game was like, y'all just had to play it. Y'all just really have to play the game, because Mondo, like whatever was possessed in him fully came out. He went on this whole other journey to finish what he started. I don't know if like Mondo ended up becoming bad or if he was still good somewhere in there. I don't know. I was so confused because it's like the plot did a whole 360. God, Suda 51. All right, so next one on the list is the visual levels. Now each level I thought was very interesting. Like you had fights that were supposedly on the moon. You, like I said, you fought a train. You fought like this Spider Woman person. I believe that was the set. I think that was the, oh my god, I think that was the first boss. The whole level was kind of designed almost like an Alice in Wonderland kind of themed video. You got that type of vibe from there. And then, you know, of course on level 7, I can't remember exactly. I thought it was called Eye of a Tiger, but you fought that dude. I don't know if he was a known Yakuza member or if he was like a samurai of some sort. You fought him like side by side while you were on a motorcycle. He was like riding on a tiger, and then there was that whole thing, and then you had to fight him again. Did I mention the train? The little creatures with the eyes and everything, like, and then like those creepy little weird thingies that look like zombies but don't. I don't know what to call those things, but just the levels and everything looks so good. I think it was like the color tone really gave like the visual effects of each level something that was like out of this world to me. Now granted, there are other games that have way better looks and designs to them than this, but I mean, for a game that kind of had this type of story in this kind of play style, had a good level design to it. Like each level had its own unique like story to it, and of course it's gonna have that because each mission you do is a different story technically. Just without like telling its story, you could see from the background, the level designs, the visuals, that it was telling its own story without you knowing it was telling its own story. And I think that's what I really gravitated more towards when I was playing this game. And last but not least on the pros and cons list, I got the combos and the weapons. Now some of the combos in this game were really good when you were doing these boss fights, and after a certain amount of time when you got to click the X button, you were just spamming like I also liked the blasters that you got. I liked all the different types of combos with the swords you can do. That was really good. And then the weapons were really cool in the game. I hated how, yeah, some of the weapons you kind of were like, damn, that's expensive. And even some of the combos, it was like, damn, that's expensive, shawty. But you know what? It's kind of worth it. I mean, if you want to win the game, or if you want to beat the game to be exact, and you want to have like the best of the best, with some of these villains or some of like the little minions or side bosses or whatever you want to call it, you will need certain types of weapons, and you will probably need to learn certain types of combos if you want to do better or improve better throughout the game. That's just me. But overall, I really did like the weapons and the combo styles that this game had to offer. I thought they were really cool. They reminded me a little bit of No More Heroes. Some of them kind of did, and I don't know if that's because they used the same mechanics from when Travis Touchdown was doing stuff in No More Heroes, and they just kind of gave it to Mondo. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if that's what they did. I could be wrong, but I know a lot of game developers and companies tend to do that. They'll use like little leftover mechanics, different types of CPU kind of like designs or whatever. I don't know the proper term for it. I'm just gonna shut up because I sound like an idiot. I just thought that some of the stuff looked kind of similar, but again, I'm not Suda51. I can never be Suda51. I can't make a video game to save my life, so it is what it is. Alrighty guys, so now we are moving on to the cons. And again, it's about 50-50. I had like 3 things for the pros and I have 3 things for the cons. And when I say it's 50-50, I don't mean, oh my gosh, I thought the game was like 50-50. I liked it, but I didn't like it. No, I really enjoyed this game. I was really glad to hear that it was backwards compatible. So when I digitally downloaded it, I mean, I was gonna get it for the 360 at some point if it wasn't. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but part of me does kind of want to get it for the 360 for that nostalgic feel of just having games that I used to have as a kid. But then again, I don't know, I don't want to waste any money because Killer is Dead, I think backwards compatible. I think the price was $19.99. First things on the cons list was the repeated boss fights. And what I mean by repeated boss fights, I mean David. I think his name was David. That blonde haired dude who was Mondo's brother. You fought him 3 times. I'm not even joking. 3 of the levels were fighting him. And it was so annoying because it's just like those could have been other people, but instead you want to make it the same person 3 times in a row. Why are you doing that? It could be part of the story. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not Suda51. I didn't write the story. I don't know what's going on. Why do we have to fight this nigga 3 times? I don't want to fight this nigga 3 times. Give me someone else cool. Why am I fighting? No. And plus it took too long too. And maybe I'm just ass at games and that's why it took a long time the second to last time. But I'll tell you one thing. When you fight him on the last level, he's way much easier than fighting him like the second to last time. Like the first time you fight him, he kind of is easy to beat. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of easy. And I didn't play on like the easy difficulty because I know some of y'all probably gonna think that. I want to put that in the comments below. No. That nigga was hard. Pause. He was pretty difficult to fight the second time, but then the last time it was kind of like a breeze. I, was just like, wow, that was it. Like that was the last fight. Come on now. I felt like I could have been getting more, but then again, it was part of the story, so I could see why you had to fight him several times. And he wasn't the only one. That girl, it's like you're like in this weird limbo state where like the camera's kind of going like this, and there's like a lot of water. You're surrounded by a lot of water, and there's that girl with the shades on, like them Lady Gaga like shades on. Why am I fighting her again? Because you have to fight her again. And I hated fighting her the first time because she was annoying as hell. So it was kind of a drag when you had to fight her. I guess that played into the story too, and it actually did play into the story. Play the game, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Those 2 were just the most annoying boss fights in the whole entire game. Second on the pros list was something I just briefly mentioned, was the camera angles. The camera angles in this game were ass. And I know it's a game that's older, so the camera angles aren't gonna be the best, and it was on older platforms like, the 360, the PS3, and Windows PC. It's an older game. You're playing it on a newer console, so yeah, the camera angles were probably gonna be kind of like that for older games, but when you're replaying that game, it's just like, you'd be doing something up here and the camera will drag down here, and like you'd be doing something that's like over that way, and the camera will be trying to like drag you this way, and it's just like, no nigga, I'm this way. And it just was so annoying. That's the one thing I hate about playing older games. Sometimes those camera angles are really wonky, and this game definitely had some wonky camera angles where it messed me up when I was like doing boss fights and stuff, and I'm just like, why are you doing this to me? It's like you don't want me to beat the game, but I'm gonna beat the game. And last but not least on the pros cons was the excessive use of blood. Now, I'm not someone who is all squeamish about blood. I mean, I don't play a whole lot of scary video games either. There are some that I have played and some I'm just kind of like, no. When it came to using like your blaster and you had to like shoot ammo, your blood was pretty much like, you could buy ammo, but it required you to also use blood. Like you had so much usage of blood. Now, obviously you can increase it and you can gain more. When you ran out, that was it. And it would suck because you got so equipped with trying to shoot from far distance at boss fights, but then once you were out of blood, then you had to go to close melee attacks, and that would suck because then it's like the close melee attacks, it wouldn't work the way it would if you were like shooting from a far distance. It sucked, but that's kind of how the game was set up. I was just really annoyed with it. It's nothing that like really grinds my gears, if you want to say, but it was just something that wasn't likable to me at least. I was just more of like, why am I always having to use blood when I can just buy ammo or other stuff like other games? But again, I feel like that's part of the challenge. I always welcome challenges, but at the same time, it's like, no. Like I said, Killer is Dead, probably one of the best Suda51 games I have ever played. I only own 4, and that is Lollipop Chainsaw. I own Killer is Dead on the Xbox One, and I have No More Heroes 1 and 2, and I definitely plan on getting No More Heroes 3. I might pick it up maybe during Black Friday. If you want to play the game, get the game. If you are a fan of Suda51's work, you've been hearing a lot about No More Heroes 3, and you know, if you're playing that or you're just fresh off of playing that and you're like, dang, I kind of want to throw back, definitely I would play Killer is Dead. Lollipop Chainsaw is up there too, though. Don't get me wrong, play it. It's not expensive. I mean, if you have a 360 and you don't want to spend too much money on it and you don't care if it's like pre-owned or whatever. Otherwise, if you want some hot, brand new, you have an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X, whatever it is you got, and you're like, I kind of want to play some old school, definitely pick that up. Super fun, really worth it. But alrighty guys, that is it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, dislike if you did, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. You already know the vibes. You're trying to get to 1K subscribers. You know, I appreciate all of you guys staying with me, grinding with me. You know, it's grinding season, like I said. We're not gonna stop. I'm gonna try my hardest till we get to 1K. You know, I'm sorry, I'm just lost for words because I just don't know really what to say. I'm just grateful for each and every one of you who subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. And if you guys want to tell me some of your favorite experiences playing this game, if you did play it, let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to watch more content from me, definitely hit up my second channel, links in the description below. You're always gonna find something random on that channel, so definitely go check that out. And I'm Pokemon 86, and I am out of here.